We're enjoying a pretty nice run here lately, hitting on 10 out of our last 13 picks. We're looking to keep things going today on a relatively small NBA slate. Guys, my name's CJ Curry. I appreciate you joining me on today's video. We're going to discuss 3 different PrizePicks options that maybe you should be considering for all of your entries today. But first, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, get subscribed. We're on our way to 23,000 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you who have already subscribed. But if you're new here, hitting the subscribe button is probably in your best interest. I'm dropping regular PrizePicks videos, trying to help you guys win more together. Speaking of win more together, let's see if we can run those likes up to more than 149.5 likes. You help me win, I help you win, and we all win more together. Now, another way that you can win more together is joining Dub Club. Dub Club is a community of like-minded individuals that are trying to help each other win more together. So if you guys are interested in joining a community, maybe you're out there doing this on your own, maybe you're just stuck in one of those group chats with a bunch of friends that don't really know what they're talking about, well, we got you covered right here. For as low as 67 cents per day, you can join Dub Club and you get full access to a great Discord community where we're sharing picks, we're sharing plays, we're sharing parlays and information that can help you win more. There's a link pinned down in the comments section below. Dub Club's actually running a site-wide March Madness sale where you could get 25% off. So there's really no better time to join than the present. So definitely check it out if you're interested in something like that. But let's get into today's PrizePicks plays. PrizePicks, daily fantasy made easy. They're still doing that 100% instant deposit match. So if you've never played on PrizePicks before and you're thinking about getting your feet wet, well, use code Curry, use the link down in the description of this video, and you're gonna get an instant deposit match all the way up to $100, meaning every dollar that you put in, they're gonna match it and give you $1 on top of that. So not a bad way to get things started. But Dennis Schroder's our first pick. Brooklyn Nets point guard is going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks have been bad this season, bad at guarding opposing point guards. If you take a look at the defense versus positions, especially over the last 7 games, you can see that Milwaukee's giving up over 33 points per game to opposing point guards. And Dennis Schroder, he's a point guard, and so he's in a pretty good spot today going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. The only concern here is maybe this game kind of blows out, but hopefully it stays close and competitive with Giannis Antetokounmpo expected to sit out today. So Dennis Schroder looks like he's in a very good spot here. So let's go over to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. In case you've never used this tool before, my friends, you got to have this. You got to have this in your back pocket. You got to have this in your toolkit if you're playing on PrizePicks, Underdog, Sleeper, or any of those sites that are similar to this. This tool right here is going to help you find value, and value is the name of the game here. Getting in on these picks before they get bumped up, bumped down, or taken down from the PrizePicks board. All right, so looking at Dennis Schroder here at 13.5 points, 53% chance that he is going to go over 13.5. Now, 53% means there's about a 47% chance that he won't go over, all right? We're still gambling here, but we are getting a 3% edge, and those little edges over the long run are going to add up. And in this case, we're getting a nice little edge here. But he's at 14.5 on big sports books like Pinnacle, FanDuel, which means their lines makers, who are probably pretty darn good at setting their lines, think that he's going to land on 14 to 15 points tonight. And so we're getting some value here at just 13.5 on PrizePicks. Taking a look at some projections for you. One of the projection sites that I love to use is this one. It's called RotoWire. You can get a 2-day all-access free pass. I've left a link for you down in the description of the video. No credit card required, but their new dashboard is pretty darn cool. It shows you some hit rates. It shows you projections. It shows you how this line compares to other sports books and pick'em sites. But here you got a projection of 14.97 points for Dennis Schroder today, putting him at about 15 points, which is higher than the 13.5 number. Now, I like to use multiple player projection tools. And so in this case, we're going to go over to one of my other faves, which is Fantasy Labs, powered by Action Labs. Projection of 14.9 points for Dennis Schroder over on Fantasy Labs. And so these projections are liking Schroder to be right around that 15-point number. And so for me, he's going to be a more option at just 13.5 points. Now, I'm an Orlando Magic fan, and it pains me to say this and do this, but Paolo Banchero versus the New Orleans Pelicans, he could be in for a long night. The Pelicans are a very tough defensive team. He'll have his work cut out for him going up against the likes of Herbert Jones, Zion Williamson, Jonas Valanciunas and company. Tough front court, but let's take a look at the numbers here for Paolo Banchero. We go take a look at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. We'll punch in Banchero's name because we want to make sure we're playing plus EV plays, positive expected value plays. Now this one, not getting the juice, the steam that it needs right now. Right now it's at about a 50.5% chance that he goes under. I think this one's going to end up getting bumped down though, from 34.5 down to maybe 33.5. I mean, we're early adopters here at the 34.5 number going under. But look at FanDuel. Speaking of early adopters, they've already got him down at 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists because they think he's going to struggle against the Pelicans today too. So don't be surprised if all these other sports books jump in line. You normally see FanDuel get ahead of the pack. They're normally the first ones, the first domino to tip over when it comes to line movement from what I've noticed. And so they've already got him at 33.5. Like I said, don't be surprised if you start seeing throughout the day other sports books get behind this pick and get him down to 33.5. But taking a look at the projections here, it'll kind of explain more why Banchero is an under option. I mean, if you take a look at his numbers today, everything for Banchero is leaning less on the RotoWire PrizePicks dashboard. And so I think we should be leaning less as well. Taking a look at the projection, 31.6 projected points, rebounds, and assists. That's nearly 3 PRA lower than his line of 34.5. Now, maybe this is just a fluke. Maybe this one projection model is off its rocker, which is why we check more than one, right? So we're going to go back over here to Fantasy Labs, go to the PRA category, and type in Banchero. You're seeing a second projection here for Banchero at 32.7, which puts him well under the 34.5 PRA line. And so for me, I think Banchero is going to be an option for an under today. That's the way that I would be leaning toward playing it. Last but not least, Fred VanVleet. Obviously, Alperen Şengün done for the season. Fred VanVleet going up against the Chicago Bulls looks like an advantageous matchup. I know Fred's been struggling to score the rock over the last couple of games, but you know another team that's been struggling to guard opposing point guards? It's the Chicago Bulls. Over the last 7 games, they're giving up over 25 points per game. That's a top 10 point per game average to the point guard position. And so at some point, Fred VanVleet is going to perk up. At some point, he's going to get back to scoring the basketball like we know that he can. And so this could be the night. I mean, the matchup is right. He's coming off of a couple of bad games. Like I said, he's going to snap out of it at some point. So let's go take a look at Fred VanVleet here on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. When we punch his name in, you can see he's got almost a 53% chance of going over 16.5 points. And again, being the early adopters that we are here, you can see lines on Pinnacle, FanDuel. They've already got him up at 17.5, as does Caesars and BetMGM, 17.5. So they're lines makers who are trying to get their employer as much profits as possible, right? By setting a sharp line. They think he's going to land on 17 to 18 points today. Now, this game is going to stay close and competitive, which is a key thing that we need to be looking for here down the stretch of the NBA season, because there's been so many blowouts. And so that's what I'm trying to do, is avoid games that could potentially blow out. But Fred VanVleet here looks like he's in a pretty darn good spot. Taking a look at some projections for Mr. Fred. We'll go back over to RotoWire. You see that the top way to play Fred VanVleet today is going to be the points. He's projected for 18.19 points, putting him well over the 16.5 point number. Going over here to Fantasy Labs. What do they have him projected at? Well, It's a pretty darn good number, 19.6. That's more than 2 points higher than where his line sits at today at just 16.5 over here on PrizePicks. So I think at 16.5, we're getting a heck of a discount. I think we should take advantage of it, take the more on Fred VanVleet, and hope that he snaps out of his funk, out of his cold streak over the last 2 games. But you guys let me know. This is what I'm putting my money on. You don't have to tail these if you want to. The choice is yours. Are these good picks, bad picks? I'd like to get your feedback and your comments down in the comments section below. Leave a like while you're down there as well. I appreciate you. Good luck on all your picks, plays, and parlays, and we'll catch you in another video here real soon. Peace.